The ocean covers over 70% of planet Earth, yet beneath its surface lies a world more mysterious than the cosmos above. A realm of perpetual darkness where bizarre creatures drift through an endless void, where alien landscapes harbor secrets that may unlock the origins of life itself. This is the deep ocean, Earth's last great frontier. For decades, exploring these depths seemed impossible. The crushing pressure, the absolute darkness, the sheer vastness made it a world beyond our reach. But that is changing. In 2023, the Schmidt Ocean Institute launched its most ambitious mission yet, a newly refitted research vessel designed to push the boundaries of deep-sea exploration further than ever before. This is Falkor 2, a 110-meter floating laboratory equipped with cutting-edge technology, moon pools for deploying instruments, and a remotely operated vehicle capable of diving 4,500 meters below the surface. Throughout one extraordinary year, teams of scientists embarked on 9 expeditions across wildly different environments. What they discovered would redefine our understanding of life in the depths. These are the stories of Falkor 2's first chapter. March 2023. The vessel sets course for the Mid-Atlantic Ridge, a vast underwater mountain range where tectonic plates pull apart and expose Earth's molten heart. 23 years earlier, scientists discovered something remarkable here, a system of hydrothermal vents unlike anything seen before. They called it Lost City. Now, the team aboard Falkor 2 hunts for more like it. The search begins with mapping. High-resolution sonar scans the seafloor, revealing ridges, seamounts, and fault zones, places where superheated water might break through to the ocean floor. Autonomous underwater vehicles follow, capturing data at 1-meter resolution. Then comes the moment of truth. ROV Sebastian descends into the darkness at Pi des Falls Seamount, its cameras piercing the gloom. Silhouettes emerge, towering chimneys spewing thick plumes of black smoke, minerals precipitating from superheated fluid jetting out at over 400 degrees Celsius. These are black smoker vents, never before seen at this location. And they are teeming with life. Hordes of shrimp swarm around the chimneys. Ghostly white yeti crabs farm bacterial colonies on their hairy shells. They coexist in a landscape of mineral spires and basalt cathedrals, an alien world thriving in Earth's darkest corners. The expedition leader reflects on their success. Every time we descended, we found not just one but multiple high-temperature vents. This place may seem remote, but below us the seafloor teems with activity and life. These vents hold profound significance. The chemical conditions here mirror those thought to exist when life first emerged on Earth billions of years ago. Understanding them could reveal not just our planet's past, but the possibility of life on other water worlds, moons and planets that may harbor similar environments. Water seeps down through cracks in the oceanic crust, encountering scorching magma deep below. Superheated to extreme temperatures, this mineral-rich fluid rockets back to the seafloor, mixing with frigid seawater and creating a chemical soup that fuels an entire ecosystem. Here, life doesn't rely on sunlight. Instead, bacteria harness chemical energy through a process called chemosynthesis, forming the foundation of a food web in perpetual darkness. By the expedition's end, 3 entirely new vent fields have been discovered. Not the type they originally sought, but in deep-sea exploration, you rarely find exactly what you're looking for. You discover something equally remarkable. Hydrothermal vents present a puzzle. Over geological timescales, they are fleeting, destroyed by eruptions and earthquakes, only to reappear elsewhere along the ridge. Yet wherever they form, diverse communities quickly follow. How do these organisms find brand new vents scattered across thousands of kilometers of ocean floor? Dr. Monica Bright hypothesized a revolutionary answer: an underground ecosystem hidden beneath the seafloor itself, allowing larvae to travel between vent sites through subterranean pathways. In August, her team took Falkor 2 to the East Pacific Rise to test this theory at the Tika vent site, one of the most studied hydrothermal systems in the world. In 2005, a volcanic eruption devastated Tika, wiping out its thriving communities. But life returned with surprising speed. Tube worms, mussels, and barnacles recolonized the mineral spires. The question was, how? The team focused on Rifsha, giant tube worms standing up to 3 meters tall, their brilliant red plumes channeling chemicals to symbiotic bacteria living inside their bodies. These bacteria convert toxic compounds into nutrients, sustaining the worms in an elegant partnership. While larvae of mussels and barnacles had been found drifting in the water above vents, Rifsha larvae had never been captured, suggesting a different method of dispersal. The team began excavating. They dug into the fractured basalt beneath the vents, and what they uncovered was groundbreaking. Tube worms living below the seafloor, not just surviving, but thriving in a network of cavities and cracks, a hidden world existing in parallel with the vents above. Dr. Bright's excitement is palpable. Animals can live below hydrothermal vents. This is mind-blowing. We found that tube worms colonize vents by traveling through the subsurface. We found they can live in these cave systems. And we found that mobile vent fauna also inhabit these areas. This discovery challenges everything scientists thought they knew about vent ecology. Larvae aren't just drifting on ocean currents hopping to stumble upon a new vent. They're traveling through an underground highway system, a subsurface ecosystem entirely new to science. The implications are profound. This hidden realm may explain how vent communities persist and spread across the global ocean ridge system, a 65,000-kilometer network of underwater mountains encircling the planet. Not all discoveries come from searching for vents or mapping ridges. Sometimes, the most remarkable findings come from investigating mysteries closer to the surface world. In June, Falkor 2 arrived off the coast of Costa Rica to study an unprotected seamount where, a decade earlier, researchers made an unusual observation. Approximately 100 female octopuses gathered at a rocky outcrop, brooding their eggs. They called it an octopus garden, but a critical question remained unanswered. Were the eggs actually viable? If the octopuses were successfully raising young here, the site would be worth protecting. But if not, it might simply be a dead end where mothers came to lay doomed eggs. The team descended to find out. Costa Rica's waters are 90% deep sea, and most remain unexplored. For the nation preparing to host the 2025 United Nations Ocean Conference, understanding these depths carries particular urgency. From the first dive, the expedition exceeded expectations. The eggs were viable, developing normally with tiny beating hearts visible within translucent sacs. The team also discovered a skate nursery nearby, and another low-temperature hydrothermal vent also hosting brooding octopuses. Chief Scientist Dr. Rachel Boschenrose recalls the moment. "I was so excited. Bait told me to go outside and scream. I was bouncing off the walls." Brooding like this represents an enormous investment. Female octopuses guard their eggs for up to 5 years, barely eating during this time. It's thought to be their final act, protecting the next generation until the very end of their lives. And then the team witnessed something extraordinary. Live on camera, an egg began to hatch. A tiny octopus emerged, no bigger than a grain of rice, and drifted away into the current. One researcher captures the moment. "We're looking at a brand new baby octopus. Happy birthday." That might be the only time in that octopod's life that it gets a shadow. The discovery confirmed the Dorado outcrop as an active nursery, a critical habitat where deep-sea octopuses successfully reproduce. The findings provide scientific justification for protecting the seamount and highlight the ecological significance of these underwater mountains scattered throughout the world's oceans. Understanding the deep ocean requires not just courage and curiosity, but innovation. New technologies open windows into previously inaccessible realms. In April, scientists deployed SOLARIS, a cutting-edge sensor designed to measure reactive oxygen species around deep-sea corals off the coast of Puerto Rico. These mesophotic reefs exist in the ocean's twilight zone, where sunlight fades to a mere glimmer. Here, forests of coral and sponge create complex three-dimensional habitats, cities of life in the depths. Squat lobsters cling to branching corals alongside brittle stars, reaching into the current to capture plankton and organic particles drifting past. These ecosystems rival the biodiversity of shallow coral reefs, yet remain largely hidden from human eyes. Dr. Colleen Hansel's team studies reactive oxygen species, chemical compounds that may serve as armor, protecting corals from thermal stress and disease. Understanding these compounds could help predict which coral species might survive in a warming ocean. But measuring these chemicals presents a challenge. They exist for only fleeting moments, making them nearly impossible to capture with traditional sampling methods. Enter SOLARIS, a pressure-tolerant sensor that can be deployed directly onto corals at depth, measuring reactive oxygen species in real time for the first time in the deep sea. The expedition proved remarkably successful. Over 300 specimens were collected, representing 6 of the 7 known black coral families. Many will likely be new species. The team documented super-high densities of corals at Desecheo Ridge and made an unexpected discovery: spectacular hydrocorals in colors rarely seen at these depths. Chief Scientist Dr. Stuart Sandon reflects on the implications. This information could be very useful for proposing new marine protected areas. Meanwhile, in the Galapagos, another team tackled a different technological challenge: mapping vertical reefs clinging to underwater cliffs. These walls of life had remained largely unmapped because traditional ship-based sensors scan horizontally, missing vertical features. Led by Dr. Kathleen Robert, the team deployed advanced laser scanning technology capable of producing three-dimensional maps at 2mm resolution, detailed enough to identify individual animals living among the corals. Robert explains the significance. Vertical deepwater coral reefs are like forests turned on their side. Everything that lives on those trees is still there, but completely turned around. And there's always a current flowing, like wind through that forest, bringing food and supporting the animals. The Galapagos Islands represent an environment where human impact remains minimal. Mapping these near-pristine ecosystems creates baselines for understanding changes in deep-sea habitats, snapshots in time documenting their current condition. In October, Falkor 2 tested yet another revolutionary approach to seafloor mapping: interferometric synthetic aperture sonar, or InSAS. This technology uses sound waves to create extraordinarily detailed pictures of the seafloor, images far sharper than traditional bathymetric mapping methods. The impact was immediate. Armed with InSAS maps, ROV pilots could navigate with pinpoint accuracy to specific features, no longer searching blindly, but following detailed charts of the underwater landscape. The team discovered 7 actively venting complexes, with towers reaching 10 to 15 meters tall and temperatures exceeding 250 degrees Celsius. Each hosted full communities of tubeworms and other specialized organisms. Dr. William Chadwick, who has explored hydrothermal vents for 3 decades, marvels at the transformation. In the early days, we would spend weeks hopping to encounter just one site. What InSAS has done, along with high-resolution multi-beam mapping, is allow us to identify targets before we even enter the water. Now that we know we can do this, there's no going back. The implications extend far beyond vent discovery. NSAS can reveal seafloor textures that determine what types of animals can live in different areas. This information becomes crucial as industries eye the deep ocean for mining rare earth metals. The emerging deep-sea mining industry targets sites rich in valuable minerals, often inactive hydrothermal vents. Detailed mapping of these areas allows scientists to document biodiversity before any extraction begins, ensuring science and ecology lead the way in decision-making. The technology represents a nested approach to ocean mapping, from coarse satellite data to vessel-mounted multi-beam sonar to ROV-based systems, culminating in NSAS imaging. When overlaid with high-resolution photomosaics, scientists can achieve millimeter-scale understanding of seafloor ecosystems. But even with advanced technology, exploration requires persistence and sometimes luck. In August, Dr. Roxanne Baynard led an expedition to the Western Galapagos Spreading Center, searching for undiscovered vents. After hours of scanning seemingly barren seafloor, the team noticed something unusual, a trail of squat lobsters. These animals often congregate near vents, and the team followed them like breadcrumbs. Finally, after nearly giving up for the night, Rifsha tube worms appeared on screen, unmistakable markers of hydrothermal activity. They had found a new vent field at 2,800 meters depth. Baynard reflects on the challenge. Looking for vents from the surface is like standing on Mount Olympus and searching for a football post. These are unique ecosystems unlike anything else on Earth, and we're still trying to understand what shapes them. The discovery allowed the team to build the most comprehensive dataset ever collected for this region, spanning chemistry, geology, and biology, including the first-ever high-temperature water samples from this site. 80% of our planet's living space is deep sea. This means 80% of Earth's habitable volume never experiences sunlight. The other 20% contains everything else, every rainforest, desert, city, and mountain. Paris, Los Angeles, the Amazon, the Sahara, all of it compressed into just 1/5 of our planet's living space. The sheer scale of this inverted world should give us pause. The deep ocean may seem far away and out of sight, but it is not separate from our world. In fact, it is perhaps the single most important component of Earth's biosphere. Its processes shape our climate. Its ecosystems influence the ecology of entire oceans. We know more about Mars than we do about the deep sea, not because we haven't been curious, but because we haven't had the tools to look. Now we do. Every incremental step we take to learn more about the deep ocean helps us understand the entire planet. The connections run deeper than we once imagined, from atmosphere to land to surface waters to the abyssal plains. Scientists aboard Falkor, too, describe the experience of exploration with reverence. There's something about entering another world that proves truly exhilarating. It's a world we don't belong in, yet one to which we remain intimately connected. We must care about every part, from top to bottom, from atmosphere to abyss, because these systems don't exist in isolation. What we do on land affects the deep ocean. What happens in the deep ocean affects us. Keeping those connections safe will keep us alive on this planet. In just 10 months of 2023, Falkor 2 traveled more than 39,000 kilometers. Scientists uncovered new species, ecosystems, and discoveries in locations spanning both the Pacific and Atlantic Oceans. Teams mapped 190,000 square kilometers of seafloor, including cold water reefs, seamounts, and 5 new hydrothermal vent fields. They discovered an entirely new subsurface ecosystem beneath vents. They confirmed active octopus nurseries worth protecting. They deployed revolutionary sensors and mapping systems that will transform how we study the deep. In a world once thought barren and devoid of life, Schmidt Ocean Institute and Falkor 2 have forged ahead to unlock mysteries and bring the deep's marvelous complexity to light. But they aren't stopping there. For years to come, this beacon of discovery will continue writing new chapters in the story of deep-sea exploration, revealing wonders we never imagined and connections we've only begun to understand. The ocean's depths hold answers to questions we haven't yet learned to ask, and now, finally, we have the means to listen.